Over the last year, I have gotten really into coffee. So I thought, why not try roasting it myself? So naturally, the next step was to find green coffee beans and find out how to roast them at home.
Well, if you're a coffee lover, 150 to 200 grams, I recommend preheating your pan. I'm immediately tossing the pan as much as possible. Now I'm going to start steadily stirring. This heat is applied to coffee beans and undergoes 3 phases. First, the drying phase. From pale green to pale yellow, we pass into the second roasting phase and they begin to start to turn brown. First crack. This marks the beginning of the final phase of the roast, which is called the development phase. Cooling our beans quickly is really important. Pour the beans back and forth between them for a few minutes. Now, I always recommend letting your beans rest for a few days before you brew them for best results, but hey, if you're not that patient, there's nothing wrong with brewing them the next morning.
That is very mid.
So what went wrong? Well, my stove, like many other Japanese stoves, has a safety function which turns the heat low or off when it detects the pan has reached a certain temperature. This, of course, then makes it difficult to keep up the right amount of heat which coffee requires. Based on the video I watched by the Captain's Coffee, my roast was probably too slow. And honestly, given that I can't turn off the safety feature on my model of stove, I don't know if I can achieve a decent home roast without buying one of those air roasters, which I don't want to do because they're kind of expensive.
Now you are supposed to actually wait a couple, 3 days at least before brewing the beans after roasting to let them degas and such. That being said, I did not want to wait, so I brewed one immediately. I did let the grinds sit for a little bit to hopefully degas, and I also gave it a longer bloom as well when doing the pour. I do think it's certainly better than when I did it in the frying pan. It definitely actually tastes more like roasted coffee. That being said, it does still taste quite thin, just like it did in the fry pan, so I'm wondering if I'm just really bad at this, or maybe these beans, maybe this is just kind of how they are, maybe it's a lighter flavor, maybe I need to roast them darker. And I think, especially the smell is a lot better. It smells much more coffee-y. So, let's give it a taste. I think roasting it darker was the right move. This is really chocolatey. This is like, I'm actually kind of surprised. This turned out quite nicely. Honestly, though, I expected it to be a little more fruity, but it's having some really nice chocolatey notes. Again, part of that is maybe because it just roasted 20 minutes ago, but I'm excited to give these another try in a couple days. Honestly, that's nicer than I expected. But anyways, let's go ahead and roast those Colombian beans. They're pink bourbons from the La Zarza farm. I'm sure I'm saying that awfully. From the Huila region. Again, I'm probably mispronouncing that, but I'm really excited to give these a try. I'm really excited to try this. Again, it should be better after a few days, but I really didn't want to wait, so here we go. Oh my, whoa. That's really, really juicy. It's like almost like kind of pineapple-y. It's got like a really, really nice acidity to it. It's like a kind of citrusy. Oh wow, that's really nice. I'm really excited to try this in a few days. I'm really glad I got that roaster. It was a little bit pricey, but you know, how much these pink bourbon beans would cost to buy already roasted, it's just economically, it makes so much more sense. I can get 220 grams of raw beans for about 1,000 yen, or $6 to $7 US. But if I bought them roasted already, for only 150 grams of beans, it's like 3,500 yen, so like 20 or so US dollars. So I'm saving a lot of money by roasting it myself in a little roaster. I have to do multiple roasts to get a lot of beans, because in one go you can only roast 50 to 60 grams of raw beans, and of course that then becomes less after roasting. But for someone like me who typically only has 1, maybe 2 cups of coffee a day, I could roast once every couple, 3 days and plan it out so I could have the beans when they're at their freshest, and that would work pretty well for me. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I had a lot of fun making it, and I also got to drink a lot of coffee. I also recently created a Patreon, which you can join for free if you have any interest in listening to me ramble a whole bunch. At the moment, that's kind of all it is, but in the future maybe it'll become something more interesting. Also, next week I should have another video up about a small cafe out in the countryside, so if you have any interest in that, please tune in.